There is a unique weight that arrives only in the quietest hours of the night. It doesn't make a sound. It doesn't announce itself. It simply settles in when the distractions of the day have faded and you are left alone with the stillness, the darkness, and the rhythm of your own breathing. It's a weight of love, a profound, lifelong love that has somehow become entangled with fear. The fear of becoming a duty to the very people you have spent your life nurturing. How do we begin to find peace with this quiet ache, this silent worry that our presence might one day feel like an obligation? By the time sleep finds you tonight, you will have touched a deeper truth, that your worth is not, and has never been, measured by what you can do for others. It is measured in the simple, profound, and unchangeable fact of who you are. So let's begin there. Let's begin by simply arriving in this moment, in this bed, in this sacred space of rest. There is nothing else you need to do right now, no one you need to be strong for, no role you need to play. Just allow your body to feel the support beneath it. Notice the texture of the sheets against your skin, the gentle weight of the blanket covering you. This is your harbor for the night. This is your time. Let a slow, easy breath fill your lungs, not a deep, forced breath, but a soft, natural one. And as you exhale, imagine you are releasing the day. Not just the events of the day, but the posture of the day. The posture of being capable, of managing things, of holding it all together. Let your shoulders soften and release their grip. Let them fall away from your ears. Feel the muscles in your jaw, which may have been clenched with focus or concern, and give them permission to go slack. Allow your tongue to rest gently in your mouth. Let the tiny muscles around your eyes smooth out, releasing the gaze you've held all day long. This is a gentle letting go, a quiet dissolving of the armor we wear just to move through the world. Every day, we gather this armor. We put it on piece by piece to face our responsibilities, to protect ourselves, to be the person everyone needs us to be. But here, now, in the safety of your own bed, you can let it all slide off. You can allow yourself to be utterly and completely undefended, because in this space, you are safe. Now, let's set a simple, gentle intention for this time together as you drift towards sleep. The intention is not to fight the fear or to solve the future. The intention is simply to find peace with your own inherent worth. To remember a truth that might have gotten lost along the way, that your value is not in your utility, but in your being. Think of it this way. A magnificent old tree in a forest is not valued for its ability to produce fruit every season. It is valued for its presence, for the history it holds in its rings, for the shade it provides without trying, for the simple, steadfast way it exists as part of the landscape. It doesn't worry about becoming a burden. It simply is, and its being is more than enough. Tonight, we are going to connect with that part of you, the part that, like that tree, holds the history of countless seasons of love, of laughter, of tears, of strength. The part of you whose value is written into the story of your family, not as a list of duties performed, but as a foundational presence, a constant, a home. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in this sense of unconditional worthiness. As you breathe out, imagine you are releasing the exhausting belief that you must constantly earn your place. This belief is not the truth. It is a habit of a loving, giving heart. A heart that has always equated love with action, with doing, with providing. And what a beautiful, generous heart that is. But every heart, no matter how generous, needs to learn the grace of receiving. It needs to learn the quiet strength of just being. That is our journey tonight. Not a journey of effort, but of surrender. A surrender to the deep, unshakable truth that you are loved not for what you do, but for who you are. Let your body grow a little heavier, sinking into the mattress. Let the sounds from outside fade into a distant hum. The world can wait. The worries about tomorrow can wait. They are not welcome in this space. This space is only for healing. It is only for rest. It is for remembering the part of you that exists beyond all roles, beyond caregiver, beyond parent, beyond the strong one. The part that is simply and beautifully you. Let your next breath be even softer, your exhale even longer. You are safe, you are worthy, and you are ready to rest. Now, from this quiet and settled place, let's gently turn our attention to that weight we spoke of earlier. Without fear, without resistance, let's simply look at it. Let's give it a name, so it no longer has to be a shapeless, looming shadow in the dark. The name of this feeling, this deep and persistent worry, is the fear of being a burden. Just notice how that feels to hear it named. The fear of being a burden. It's a phrase heavy with a sense of finality, of being a problem to be solved rather than a person to be loved. For a moment, we are not going to push this fear away. We are not going to argue with it or tell it that it's wrong. We are simply going to acknowledge that it is here, that it visits you. We are going to witness it with the calm, steady compassion of an old friend. This fear has a story it likes to tell. It often comes in the form of little movies that play in the mind, doesn't it? Scenarios of the future. Let's just watch one of those movies now, not as a participant, but as a neutral observer, sitting in a quiet theater. You don't have to believe the story. You just have to notice that it's playing. Perhaps the movie is about a fall, a moment of instability, and then the phone call that has to be made. You can almost feel the weight of the phone in your hand, the hesitation before dialing, not wanting to interrupt their day, their life. You see the look on your child's face when they hear the news. That flicker of concern mixed with the immediate mental calculation of what needs to be done. Who needs to be called? What plans need to change? Or maybe the movie is quieter, a slower progression. It's about needing a little more help with everyday things. A ride to an appointment, a hand with the groceries. And in this mental movie, you see them rescheduling their work, juggling their own children's needs, feeling the gentle squeeze of time getting tighter. You see the tiredness in their eyes, and the mind immediately tells a painful story. I am the cause of that tiredness. I am one more thing on their endless list. These scenarios, these little films produced by the mind, can be so convincing. They are filled with vivid detail and powerful emotion. They whisper that your needs are an imposition, that your struggles are an inconvenience, that your very presence requires a sacrifice you would never, ever want to ask of them. For right now, let's practice just watching these thoughts. See them for what they are, just thoughts. They are not prophecies. They are not facts. They are clouds passing through the vast sky of your awareness. You are the sky. The thoughts are just the weather. You don't have to grab onto them. You don't have to become the storm. You can simply notice, there is that story again. The story of being a problem. And you let it drift by. Beneath these stories, beneath the mental movies and the what-if scenarios, there is a feeling. It's a deep, quiet ache. This is the heart of the matter. It is the raw pain of imagining that the dynamic of love could shift into one of duty. The fear that the joy they feel in your presence could be slowly replaced by a sense of obligation, that their visits would feel less like a choice and more like a chore. That is the core of this fear. It is not about the practicalities. It's about the heart. It's the terror of becoming a project, of your well-being becoming a task on a to-do list. Let yourself feel the truth of that ache for just a moment. Acknowledge its depth. Honor the profound love that it comes from. Because this fear, this immense and painful fear, is born from the purest kind of love. A love so fierce and protective that your primary concern is not for your own comfort, but for theirs. You fear being a burden precisely because you have spent a lifetime trying to be a blessing. You worry about taking up their time because you have always treasured their time. You are afraid of causing them stress because your deepest instinct has always been to be their source of comfort, their safe place to land. So, as you rest here, understand this. This fear is not a sign of your weakness. It is the undeniable proof of your love. It is the shadow cast by a lifetime of selfless giving. And by seeing it clearly, by naming it without judgment, we can begin to separate the love from the fear. We can begin to hold on to the love and let the fear soften, dissolve, and drift away. Just for now, return to your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. You are here. You are breathing. And you are so much more than this fear. You are the love that it was born from. And that love is your true nature. As we continue to hold this space of gentle awareness, let's explore something that fuels this fear, something that gives it power in the quiet of the night. It's a habit, a reflex really, that you may have practiced for so long you barely even notice you're doing it. It's the habit of saying, "I'm fine." Think about those two small words. I'm fine. How often have they passed your lips when the truth was something else entirely? I'm fine, you say, when your back aches, or a wave of loneliness washes over you. I'm fine, you insist, when you're struggling to open a jar, or feeling a bit unsteady on your feet. I'm fine, you reassure them, when you can hear the stress in their voice over the phone, and the last thing you want to do is add to it. These words are a shield. They are a form of protection, a way to keep your struggles contained so they don't spill out and become someone else's problem. And yet, have you ever paused to feel the immense energy it takes to maintain this shield? It is utterly exhausting. Think of it like holding a heavy weight. All day long, you are holding up this weight of I'm fine. It takes muscle, it takes focus, it takes a constant low-level vigilance. You are carefully managing what you show to the world, editing your own reality in real time. You choose your words carefully. You moderate the tone of your voice. You might even force a smile when what you really feel is weariness or pain. This performance of wellness, of capability, is a full-time job. And it's no wonder that when you finally lie down at night, when you are no longer required to hold up that weight, the exhaustion that floods your body and mind is profound. It's not just the physical tiredness from the day's activities. It's a soul-deep weariness from the relentless effort of pretending. It is the exhaustion of being your own secret keeper. The truth is, the human body and spirit are not designed for this kind of constant concealment. We are wired for connection, for co-regulation, for sharing our burdens. When we consistently deny our own needs, when we hide our own vulnerabilities, we create a kind of internal pressure. The unspoken needs, the unacknowledged pains, they don't just disappear. They get stored in the body. They become tension in the shoulders, a tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach. The energy it takes to keep the truth submerged is immense, and it drains the very resources you need for healing and for joy. Now, here is the crucial part. It is essential to understand where this habit comes from. This reflex to say, "I'm fine," does not come from a place of dishonesty or pride in the negative sense. It comes from a place of profound love. It is a protective instinct, honed over a lifetime of caregiving. You learned long ago that your children's peace of mind was paramount. When they were small, you hid your own worries so they could feel secure. You masked your own fatigue so you could have the energy to play with them. You pushed through your own illnesses to care for them when they were sick. You became a master at creating a calm and stable environment for them, and the cost of that stability was often your own transparency. You absorbed the chaos so they could have peace. This wasn't a mistake. It was an act of love. It was your primary function as a parent, a protector. You built a fortress of "I'm fine" around them so they would feel safe in the world. And it worked. They grew up feeling supported, cared for, and secure. But a habit practiced for decades does not simply vanish when the circumstances change. The wiring in your brain, the instinct in your heart, is still set to protect. The reflex to minimize your own needs for their benefit is so deeply ingrained that it now operates on autopilot. So when you find yourself hiding a new ache or downplaying a growing concern, it's not because you are stubborn or proud. It's because the caregiver inside you is still on duty, still trying to shield your children from worry. You are still, in your heart of hearts, trying to protect them from the reality of your own humanity, your own vulnerability. Tonight, in this safe and quiet space, can we grant that tireless protector within you a moment of rest? Can we gently acknowledge its incredible service and lovingly tell it that its primary mission is complete? You can let down the shield. You can put down the heavy weight of "I'm fine." Just for now, here in the dark, you can allow the truth to be what it is. Perhaps the truth is, "I'm tired," or "I'm a little scared," or "I miss the way things used to be," or simply, "I need some help." Allowing that truth to surface, even just to yourself, is a powerful act of release. It's the beginning of letting go of the exhausting performance and allowing for the simple, honest, and vulnerable reality of being human. And in that honesty, there is not burden, but a possibility for a new and deeper kind of connection. Let your body soften as you consider this. Let the protector in you finally take a deep, restful breath. Its watch is over. You have done enough. You are enough. Let's sink a little deeper into this understanding, moving from the habit of pretending to the very nature of your heart. For someone who has spent a lifetime giving, the act of receiving can feel profoundly unnatural. It can feel awkward, uncomfortable, and even wrong. This isn't a personal failing. It is the logical consequence of a life lived for others. Your identity, your sense of purpose, your very rhythm has been defined by giving. You were the source of comfort, the provider of meals, the keeper of schedules, the kisser of scraped knees, the listener of stories, the wellspring of support. Your hands have been conditioned to offer, not to ask. Your heart has been calibrated to pour out, not to be filled up. To have the roles begin to shift, to find yourself in a position of needing that same care, can trigger a kind of internal alarm system. It feels like a violation of the natural order of things, as you have known it. Imagine a river that has flowed in one direction for 100 years, carving a deep and certain path in the earth. Its entire existence is defined by this powerful downstream motion. Now, imagine trying to make that river flow backward. It would go against every current, every groove in the riverbed, every law of gravity that the river knows. This is what it can feel like when a natural giver is asked to receive. It goes against the entire grain of your being. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that you are being difficult or ungrateful. It is a testament to the sheer, overwhelming force of your love and your lifelong commitment to giving. Let's validate this feeling completely. It is okay for this to feel strange. It is okay for it to be hard. You are, in a sense, learning a new language. For decades, you have been fluent in the language of, "How can I help you?" Now, you are being asked to learn the grammar and vocabulary of, "Could you help me?" It's like trying to write with your non-dominant hand. It feels clumsy, slow, and you're never quite sure if you're forming the letters correctly. This struggle is not a weakness. On the contrary, it is a direct reflection of your strength as a caregiver. The depth of your discomfort now is a mirror to the depth of your generosity then. The more you gave, the more you loved providing, the harder it will be to accept that same care in return. So, when that feeling of resistance comes up, that little voice that says, "I shouldn't have to ask," or "I can manage this myself," try not to judge it. Instead, see it for what it is, the echo of your powerful, caregiving heart. It's the muscle memory of a lifetime of self-reliance and service. Thank that part of you. It has served you and your family with incredible devotion. It has been a force of nature. But just as the seasons change, roles within a family also evolve. The strong oak tree that once provided the sturdy branch for a swing eventually becomes the elder of the forest, its value shifting from its physical strength to the wisdom and shelter it represents. Its role doesn't diminish, it transforms. We must also acknowledge that this isn't just about pride, it's about identity. For so long, your role as the capable one was a source of great satisfaction and purpose. It felt good to be needed in that way. It felt good to be the person who could fix things, who had the answers, who could make everything okay. To let go of that role can feel like a loss. There can be a grief in it, a feeling of, if I am not the helper, then who am I? This is a profound and valid question. It's a question that deserves a gentle and patient answer. And the answer we will explore tonight is that you are transitioning from the value of doing to the value of being. Your worth is no longer tied to the tasks you can perform. It is inherent in your existence, in your history, in the love you embody. Your struggle to receive is not a flaw. It is the signature of a giver's heart. Let's affirm this truth as you breathe here in the quiet. My discomfort with receiving is a testament to how deeply I have loved to give. This feeling is not wrong. It is the echo of my strength. It is the shadow of my generosity. By reframing it this way, we take the shame out of the struggle. We can look at this internal friction not as a problem to be solved, but as a sacred artifact of a life well lived, a life dedicated to love and action. And as you rest with this thought, perhaps you can allow just a tiny bit of space for a new possibility. The possibility that learning to receive is not a failure. but the final, most courageous act of giving you can offer. It is the gift of allowing those you love to complete the circle. It is the gift of trust. Let that thought settle without any pressure to fully accept it. Just let it be a seed planted in the quiet soil of your mind as you drift deeper into rest. Let's turn the lens now from your own inner world to the world of your children. Part of this quiet weight you carry comes not just from your feelings, but from what you observe in them. You see their lives. You see that they are not simple. Their lives are full, complex, and demanding. You see them juggling careers, navigating their own relationships, raising children in a world that feels faster and more complicated than the one you knew. You see the mortgage payments, the school schedules, the relentless pace of their responsibilities. You see the stress etched in the lines around their eyes. You hear the weariness in their voice at the end of a long day. You witness their beautiful, complicated, and often exhausting dance with life. And because you are their parent, because your heart is intrinsically linked to theirs, your immediate, overwhelming instinct is to protect them. Not from the world, but from you. A quiet, painful calculation takes place in your heart. You look at their full plates, already piled high with obligations and worries, and you think, I cannot add one more thing. I cannot be the straw that breaks the camel's back. This is not a logical thought as much as it is a deep, visceral feeling. It's a pang of love so sharp, it feels like pain. The thought of your needs becoming another source of stress for them is simply unbearable. So you minimize, you downplay, you say, I'm fine when you're not. Because the alternative, adding to their burden, feels like a betrayal of your most fundamental role as their parent. Let's be very clear about this. This feeling is a testament to the incredible selflessness that has defined your love for them. It is a beautiful, if painful, expression of your devotion. You are still trying to be their shield. You are still trying to absorb the hardships so that their path can be a little smoother. What an extraordinary love that is. A love that, even in your own time of need, prioritizes their peace of mind above all else. Please, let yourself feel the truth and the goodness of that motivation. Do not judge it as neurotic or anxious. See it for what it is, the continuation of a lifetime of fierce, protective love. You remember what it was like to be their age, to feel that you were constantly running, trying to keep all the balls in the air. You remember the feeling of being pulled in a dozen different directions at once, and your empathy for them is so profound that you physically recoil from the idea of adding to that pressure. You would rather endure your own discomfort in silence than cause them a moment of extra worry. This protective instinct is as primal as the one that made you check on them while they slept as infants, or the one that made your heart ache when they experienced their first heartbreak. It has never gone away. It has simply changed its focus. Before, you protected them from scraped knees and playground bullies. Now, you are trying to protect them from the burden of your own aging, your own humanity. But here is a gentle question to hold as you rest. Is it possible that in your loving attempt to shield them, you are inadvertently robbing them of something important? Is it possible that you are denying them the opportunity to express their love for you in a new and meaningful way? Think back to when they were young, when they would bring you a handful of wilted dandelions or a crookedly drawn picture. Did you see it as a burden? Did you think, now I have to find a vase for these weeds? Or, now I have to find a place on the refrigerator for this drawing? No, of course not. You saw the gift for what it was, an expression of their love. Their small hands were offering you everything they had. And in receiving that gift, you completed a beautiful circuit of connection. You allowed them the dignity and the joy of giving. It is possible that they now see their ability to care for you in the same way. What you perceive as an obligation, they may perceive as an honor. What you see as a burden, they may see as a sacred opportunity to return a fraction of the boundless care you gave them. By constantly insisting, "I'm fine," by shielding them from your realities, you may be unintentionally communicating that you don't trust their love to be strong enough to hold you. You may be subtly denying their capacity, their maturity, and their deep, genuine desire to be there for you. Their lives are busy, it's true, but the human heart is a miraculous thing. It is not a finite resource. In fact, love often expands to meet the need. The act of caring for a loved one, while it may be tiring in a practical sense, can be profoundly fulfilling on a spiritual and emotional level. It can be a source of meaning and connection in their otherwise hectic lives. So for tonight, just entertain this possibility that your perception of being a burden is a story you are telling yourself, born from your own selfless love, but it may not be the story they are living. They may be waiting, hoping for an opportunity to show you how much you mean to them, not just in words, but in actions. And your vulnerability, your willingness to ask for and receive help, may be the greatest gift you can give them right now. The gift of letting them love you back. For so long, perhaps for your entire adult life, you have carried the title of the strong one. It might not have been a name anyone said out loud, but it was a role you inhabited, a presence you provided. You were the steady hand, the calm voice in a crisis, the one who didn't fall apart when things got tough. When others were panicking, they looked to you. When decisions needed to be made, your opinion was sought. You were the emotional bedrock of your family, the one who could absorb the shock and still stand firm. This role of the strong one is like wearing a heavy suit of armor. It's protective, it's reliable, it makes you feel capable, but it is also incredibly heavy. It's rigid, and it separates you from the tender, vulnerable parts of yourself. You have worn this armor for so long that you might have forgotten what it feels like to take it off. You may have even forgotten that you're wearing it at all. It has become a second skin. Tonight, in the safety and silence of this room, I am giving you full and complete permission to lay that armor down. You do not need it here. Its purpose has been served. You can, piece by piece, unbuckle the straps and let it fall away. Start with the helmet, the part that keeps a brave face on for the world, the part that holds back the tears and forces a reassuring smile. Let it go. Feel the relief as the air touches your skin. Then, the breastplate, the heavy shield that has protected your heart from so much, that has absorbed so many worries, both your own and those of the people you love. Imagine the immense weight of it as you let it slide to the floor. Feel the immediate lightness in your chest, a new capacity to breathe more deeply, more easily. Let go of the gauntlets, the pieces that represent the endless doing, fixing, and holding. Allow your hands to simply be empty, to rest, palms open, with nothing to manage and no one to carry. Finally, the heavy boots of responsibility that have kept you marching forward day after day, year after year, no matter how tired you were. Kick them off. Let your feet be bare, connected to the simple, grounding feeling of the bed beneath you. And now, just be, without the armor. What is left when the strong one is allowed to rest? What you might feel first is an overwhelming wave of exhaustion, not just physical tiredness, but a deep, cellular, bone-deep weariness. This is the accumulated exhaustion of decades. It is the fatigue that you never allowed yourself to feel because you had to keep going. Let it wash over you. Do not be afraid of it. This exhaustion is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of a job well done. It is the honorable fatigue of a warrior who has finally come home from the battlefield. You have earned this rest. Let your body sink into it. Let every muscle, every fiber of your being, finally release the tension of being on high alert for so long. Create, in your mind's eye, a safe and comfortable space just for you. It might be a cozy armchair by a warm fire. It could be a quiet garden bench under a shady tree. Or perhaps it's just the feeling of being wrapped in the softest, warmest blanket imaginable. This is your inner sanctuary. In this space, you don't have to be strong. You don't have to have any answers. You don't have to be anything for anyone. Here, you can be messy. You can be sad. You can be confused. You can be tired. You can be utterly, completely, and unapologetically human. Here, for the first time in a long time, you can let your guard down completely. And as you rest in this safe space, you can finally release the immense pressure to have it all together, all the time. This pressure is a silent tyrant. It whispers that you should know what to do, that you shouldn't show weakness, that you must not burden others with your uncertainty. It is the voice of the armor. But you have taken the armor off. So now you can allow for a different reality. The reality that it is perfectly okay not to have it all together. It is okay to feel lost. It is okay to be vulnerable. In fact, it is in that vulnerability that true strength is often found. The strength to be authentic, the strength to be soft, the strength to connect with others from the heart rather than from behind a shield. This role of the strong one, while it served a purpose, also kept you isolated. People admire strength, but they connect with vulnerability. By always being the rock, you may have inadvertently made it difficult for others to get close, to offer you the tenderness you offered them. They saw the armor, not the person inside it. Laying it down is an invitation. It is a silent signal to those you love that you are ready to be seen, to be held, to be cared for. It is the ultimate act of trust. So breathe into this feeling of release. The pressure is off. The performance is over. You are no longer on duty. You are simply here, in your sanctuary, allowing the deep, deep well of exhaustion to be felt, and allowing the truth of your own tender humanity to finally emerge. And it is safe. You are safe. Rest now, without the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have carried it long enough. As you rest here, without the heavy armor of being the strong one, another feeling may gently surface. It is a quiet, tender emotion, often mistaken for weakness, but is in fact a profound part of the human experience. It is grief. Let's create a safe space to acknowledge this grief, without shame and without judgment. This is not the dramatic, overwhelming grief of a sudden loss, but a quieter, more subtle kind. It is the grief of changing seasons. It is the sadness that comes with letting go of the way things used to be. You are grieving the loss of a certain kind of independence, the ease with which you used to move through the world, the taken for granted ability to reach for something on a high shelf, to read the small print on a label, to walk for miles without a second thought. There is a sadness in noticing these small shifts, these moments when your body reminds you that it has carried you through many, many years. It is okay to feel a pang of loss for the person you were at 30 or 40 or even 60. That person was vibrant and capable, and it is natural to miss their energy and their freedom. Allowing yourself to feel this sadness is not an act of self-pity. It is an act of honoring. You are honoring the life you have lived, the body that has served you so well, and the natural, inevitable process of change. Society often tells us to fight aging, to deny it, to pretend it isn't happening. We are encouraged to be young at heart, as if being old at heart, wise, seasoned, and experienced, were something to be ashamed of. But here, in this quiet space, you can reject that pressure. You can give yourself permission to feel the truth of your own experience. The truth is, there is a sadness in letting go. There is a grief in the changing of your own personal seasons. Think of it like this. We honor the 4 seasons of nature. We find beauty in the vibrant energy of spring and the lush fullness of summer. But we also find a deep, poignant beauty in the colors of autumn, as the leaves let go in a final, brilliant display. And we find a quiet, restorative peace in the stillness of winter, when the world rests and gathers its strength beneath the surface. Each season has its own purpose, its own beauty, its own wisdom. Your life is no different. You have had your glorious spring and your powerful summer. Now, you may be entering your autumn or your early winter. To deny the feelings that come with this season would be like a tree raging against the turning of its own leaves. It is a futile and exhausting battle against the natural order of things. Instead, can we honor this season? Can we find the beauty in the letting go? The falling leaves of autumn are not a sign of the tree's failure. They are a sign of its wisdom. The tree knows it must release what is no longer needed in order to conserve its energy for the cold months ahead. It is an act of profound self-preservation and grace. In the same way, letting go of certain abilities or a certain level of independence is not a failure on your part. It is your body's wisdom, guiding you to conserve your energy for what is most important now: connection, reflection, and simply being. There is a quiet dignity in this process if we allow ourselves to see it. So allow the grief to be there. Let yourself feel sad for the changes in your body, for the things you can no longer do with ease. Let the tears come if they need to. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of a heart that is alive and feeling. They are a cleansing rain that waters the soil of your soul, preparing it for the quiet wisdom of winter. This is also the time to grieve the loss of roles. You might be grieving the role of the busy, active parent whose life revolved around your children's needs. You might be grieving the role of the professional, the community leader, the person everyone turned to for solutions. As these roles fall away, it can feel as though a part of your identity is disappearing, and that is a loss worth mourning. But just as the tree is still a tree when its leaves are gone, in fact, its strong, essential structure is even more visible in winter. You are still you when these roles have passed. Your essential self, the core of your being, remains. And perhaps, without the foliage of these busy roles, that core self can be seen more clearly by you and by others. Give yourself the gift of this quiet morning. Don't rush it. Don't explain it away. Just let it be. Acknowledge the sadness. Honor the past. Feel the poignant beauty of this season of your life. By allowing the grief, you are not wallowing in it. You are moving through it. You are processing the changes with honesty and grace. And on the other side of this honest grief, there is a profound peace. A peace that comes from accepting the natural flow of life, with all its joys and all its sorrows. A peace that comes from knowing that even in winter, the tree is not dead. It is resting. It is gathering wisdom. And its presence is a gift to the forest. Now, as we rest in this place of deep honesty, having acknowledged the grief of changing seasons, let's gently challenge a core belief that may be hiding beneath all these other fears. It's a belief so deeply embedded in our culture that we often don't even recognize it as a belief. We mistake it for a fundamental truth. It is the belief that love and value are things that must be earned through doing. From a very young age, we are taught this transactional model of worth. As children, we are praised for getting good grades, for cleaning our rooms, for behaving well. As adults, we are valued for our productivity at work, for our contributions to the community, for our ability to be useful, helpful, and efficient. We learn, through a million subtle and not so subtle cues, that our worth is conditional. It is based on what we can offer, what we can produce, what we can do for others. Our value, we come to believe, is a direct result of our utility. This is the operating system that runs in the background of our minds, constantly calculating our worth based on our actions. And so, when our ability to do begins to diminish, this faulty operating system flashes a terrifying error message. Warning, your value is decreasing. This is the source of so much of the fear. It's the quiet panic that if you can no longer cook the family meals, or host the holidays, or provide the sage advice, or be the strong and capable one, that your stock in the family will plummet, that the love you receive will somehow become less genuine, tinged with pity, or a sense of duty. But this entire premise is built on a lie. It is a profound and damaging misunderstanding of what love actually is. Love, true love, is not a transaction. It is not an exchange of goods and services. It is a state of being. It is a recognition of the inherent, unshakable worth of another soul. Your children do not love you because you were useful to them. They love you because you are you. Your presence in their lives is the foundation upon which they built their own. You are woven into the very fabric of who they are. Your voice is the echo in their minds. Your lessons are the compass in their hearts. Your love is the ground beneath their feet. This is not something that diminishes as your physical abilities change. In fact, it is something that can only grow in its importance and its clarity. Let's reframe the lifetime of care you have given. You have been taught to see it as a series of actions, a long list of tasks performed, the thousands of meals cooked, the countless nights of lost sleep, the endless loads of laundry, the hours spent helping with homework. But what if that's not what it was? What if those actions were simply the physical expression of something much deeper? What if the real gift was not the meal itself, but the love that went into preparing it? What if the real gift was not the driving to soccer practice, but the feeling of safety and support you provided in the car? The actions were temporary. They were consumed. They were completed. They were forgotten. But the love, the feeling of being cherished and prioritized, that is permanent. that is what remains. The love you have given them is not a debt that they are now being asked to repay. That is transactional thinking. Instead, think of it as a gift that continues to resonate through their lives and through the lives of their own children. It's like a beautiful melody you taught them long ago. They still hum it to themselves when they're feeling lost. They teach it to their own children. Your song is still playing. It is a permanent part of their inner world. It cannot be diminished by your current circumstances. In fact, your physical presence now is simply the living embodiment of that song. Your value is not in singing it again and again, but in simply being the composer. Let this new idea settle deep into your being. My worth is in my being, not in my doing. Let that be a gentle mantra as you breathe. My worth is in my being, not in my doing. Your presence itself is the gift now. Your history, the stories you hold, the unique perspective that only you can offer. These are treasures of immense value. You are the family historian, the living library of your shared past. You are the keeper of memories that would otherwise be lost. You hold the context for who they have become. To sit with you, to hear a story from their childhood, to simply be in your presence is to connect with a fundamental part of themselves. This is not a small thing. In a fast-paced and disposable world, this kind of deep-rooted connection is more precious than ever. So we must gently, lovingly uninstall that old, faulty operating system that equates your value with your utility. We are replacing it with a new understanding, a deeper truth. The truth that you are loved unconditionally, not for what you can do, but for the simple, miraculous fact that you exist. Your being is, and has always been, more than enough. Building on this truth that your worth is in your being, let's try a courageous shift in perspective. It's a gentle but powerful reframing of the entire situation, moving away from the language of burden and into the language of connection. The story that the fear tells is, I am becoming a burden. It's a passive statement, one that paints you as a dead weight, an inert object of obligation. It's a story of depletion, where your needs are seen as draining the resources of those around you. But what if we were to tell a different story? What if we were to shift the narrative from I am a burden to I am offering my children a way to show their love? Say that to yourself, just silently in your own mind. I am offering them a way to show their love. Feel the profound difference in the energy of those words. One story is about being a problem. The other is about providing an opportunity. One is about taking. The other is about giving. It may seem paradoxical, but in your time of needing, you are actually presenting them with a profound gift. You are giving them the chance to exercise their own hearts, to step into a new dimension of their love for you. Throughout their lives, their love for you has been largely receptive. They received your care, your support, your protection. Now, you are inviting them to experience the other side of love, the active, giving, nurturing side. You are allowing them to feel the deep satisfaction and sense of purpose that comes from caring for someone who is precious to them. Think about it this way. All the love they have for you, accumulated over a lifetime, is like a vast reservoir of water held behind a dam. As long as you are fiercely independent, insisting I'm fine, that dam remains sealed. The love is there, immense and powerful, but it has no place to flow. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, when you ask for a little help, you are creating a small opening in that dam. You are allowing their love to flow toward you in a tangible, meaningful way. This flow doesn't deplete their reservoir. It animates it. It gives it purpose. It allows it to become a life-giving river. To deny them, this is to force their love to remain static and unexpressed. Consider this. Allowing someone to care for you is one of the most profound acts of trust and intimacy. When you let your child help you with a task you can no longer manage easily, you are not just receiving practical help. You are communicating on a much deeper level. You are saying to them, I trust you. I trust you to be gentle. I trust you to be patient. I trust your love to be bigger than any inconvenience. I am safe in your care. This is an incredible gift to give a child, no matter their age. It affirms their goodness, their capability, and the strength of the bond you share. It communicates your faith in the person they have become. By constantly refusing help, we can inadvertently send the opposite message. We can subtly communicate, I don't trust you to handle this gracefully. Or, I don't believe your love is strong enough to hold my vulnerability. This is, of course, the last thing we intend, but it can be the unintended consequence of our own fierce self-reliance. We are trying to protect them, but we end up holding them at arm's length, preventing the very intimacy that both parties likely crave. Let's reframe this entire journey as the completion of a beautiful, sacred circle of care. You began the circle when they were helpless infants, completely dependent on you for their very survival. You poured out your love and care without reservation. You didn't see it as a burden. You saw it as the natural expression of your love. You were the giver, and they were the receiver. Now, decades later, the circle is seeking its completion. It is now their turn to be the giver, and your turn to learn the grace of being the receiver. This is not a regression. It is not a failure. It is the natural, beautiful, and intended closing of the loop. A family is a living system of interdependence, and this flow of care, from parent to child, and eventually from child back to parent, is its heartbeat. To resist this final, tender phase is to interrupt the natural rhythm, to stop the music before the final, peaceful chord has been played. By allowing them to care for you, you are helping them to integrate the lessons of love you taught them. You are giving them a chance to put your legacy of care into practice. They are not repaying a debt. They are honoring a legacy. They are showing you, in the most direct way possible, that they were listening all along. They learned how to love by watching you, and now they want to show you what good students they were. So, as you drift towards sleep, let go of the story of being a burden. Let it dissolve. In its place, hold this new story. The story of connection, the story of trust, the story of completing the sacred circle. You are not a problem to be solved. You are an opportunity for love to be expressed. And in receiving that love, you are giving one of the most meaningful and courageous gifts of your life. Let's take a gentle journey back in time, not to dwell on the past, but to reconnect with a truth so vast and powerful that it can easily overwhelm the smaller, more recent fears. We are going to journey back to remember the uncountable gifts of love you have already given. The mind has a tendency to focus on the present moment, on the current limitations and worries. It can forget the sheer, overwhelming evidence of the love you have built, the foundation you have laid. So, for a few moments, let your memory drift, not to specific events, but to the feeling, the texture, the atmosphere of the love you provided. Let's start with the kitchen. Can you recall the ambient warmth of your kitchen over the years? The smell of a favorite meal cooking, a scent that meant home and safety to your children. Think of the thousands upon thousands of meals, the breakfasts that started their days, the packed lunches that went with them to school, the dinners that brought everyone together. This wasn't just about food. Each meal was a small, tangible act of love, a consistent, reliable offering of nourishment and care. It was you saying, day after day, I am here for you. I will provide for you. You are safe. Now, think of the sound of your voice, the countless bedtime stories read, the soft-spoken words of comfort after a nightmare, the cheers of encouragement from the sidelines of a sports game or a school play, the patient tone of voice as you helped with difficult homework, long after you were tired yourself, the thousands of times you simply asked, "How was your day?" and truly listened to the answer. That voice was their anchor. It was the soundtrack of their security. It was the audible presence of unconditional support. Let your memory drift to your physical touch, the feeling of your hand on a feverish forehead, the hugs that could absorb the pain of a scraped knee or a broken heart, the gentle hand on their back, guiding them through a crowd, the simple, reassuring presence of you sitting beside them when they were sad or scared. Your touch was their first language of love. It communicated safety, comfort, and belonging before words ever could. It was a constant physical reminder that they were not alone in the world. Think of the unseen acts of service, the quiet worrying you did on their behalf, the nights you lay awake, thinking about their struggles, praying for their happiness, the sacrifices you made, big and small, that they may never even have known about, the new coat you didn't buy for yourself so they could have new shoes, the opportunities you passed up to ensure their stability. This unseen, unheard support was like the deep, invisible root system of a mighty tree, providing the stability and nourishment that allowed them to grow tall and strong. As you call to mind this vast collage of care, don't try to quantify it. Don't try to make a list. Simply allow yourself to feel the immense scale of it. It's like standing on the shore and looking at the ocean. You can't count the waves, but you can feel the power and the vastness of the sea. The love you have given is like that ocean. It is a force of nature. It has shaped the landscape of their lives in ways that are profound and permanent. This is not a debt to be repaid. It is a foundation that has been built. It is solid. It is unshakable. It cannot be eroded by the changing circumstances of today. The fear of being a burden is like a small, temporary sandcastle on the shore. But the love you have given is the entire ocean. There is no comparison in scale or in power. Let this affirmation sink into the deepest parts of your being. The love I have given is a permanent part of their story. It cannot be diminished. It is woven into their cells, into their memories, into the very way they move through the world. Nothing that happens now can undo that. Your current needs, no matter what they are a single drop of water in this vast ocean of love. To see those needs as a burden is to lose all perspective. It is to forget the ocean and focus only on the drop. Tonight, we choose to remember the ocean. We choose to rest in the vast, powerful, and undeniable truth of the love you have already given. That love is your legacy. It is your truth. And it is the unwavering foundation upon which your worth rests, now and forever. Feel the strength of that foundation beneath you right now. It is holding you. It has always held you, and it will continue to hold you through whatever comes next. You can rest on it. It is secure. Let's stay with this feeling of deep, foundational worth and take it one step further. We are going to consciously, deliberately, and lovingly disconnect your sense of self-worth from your physical capacity. For most of our lives, these two things are fused together. Our ability to do things in the world, to work, to create, to build, to care for others, becomes intertwined with our sense of who we are. I am a good parent. I am a hard worker. I am a capable person. These identities are based on our actions and abilities. So when our physical body changes, when our capacity to do is altered, it can feel like our very self, our core identity, is crumbling away. It can feel like a devastating loss of value. But this is an illusion. It is a case of mistaken identity. You are not your abilities. You are the being who has those abilities. And when some of those abilities fade, the being remains, whole and complete. Imagine your life as a magnificent, richly detailed book. The first many chapters were filled with action, adventure, and plot. They were about building a family, raising children, navigating a career. These were the chapters of doing. They were essential and beautiful. But a book is not just its plot. As the story progresses, it often deepens. The later chapters may have less action, but they are filled with wisdom, reflection, and meaning. The characters don't need to be constantly doing things to be compelling. Their value lies in who they have become, in the perspective they have gained, in the emotional depth they possess. Your life is now entering these later, richer chapters. The focus is shifting from the plot of doing to the theme of being. Your value is no longer on the pages of action. It is in the wisdom that permeates the entire story. It is in the unique presence that only you, the author and main character, can offer. Think of all the things you now embody that have nothing to do with physical strength or capability. You hold the family stories. You are the living link to ancestors, to traditions, to the way things were. You hold a perspective that a younger person simply cannot have. You have seen fads come and go. You have witnessed history unfold. You have weathered economic and social storms. This long view gives you a unique kind of wisdom, a calm that cannot be manufactured. It is a treasure. You embody a certain kind of peace that comes from having survived and thrived through decades of life's challenges. You know in your bones that most crises pass, that most worries are temporary. This quiet, unshakable knowing is a profoundly calming presence for your children, who are still in the midst of their own storms. Your simple, steady being can be a lighthouse for them, a fixed point in their often chaotic world. Your value is also in your unique humor, your particular way of seeing the world, the sound of your laugh. It's in the way you listen. As we get older and perhaps talk less, we often become better listeners. You have the capacity to listen to your children's struggles without the need to immediately fix them, offering a space of pure, non-judgmental acceptance that is one of the greatest gifts one human being can give another. Let this compliment, this profound truth, settle into your heart. You have earned your rest. For decades, you ran the marathon of life, of caregiving, of responsibility. You ran it with strength and endurance. But no marathon goes on forever. There is a finish line. And crossing that finish line is not a failure. It is a victory. It is the successful completion of a monumental task. You have earned the right to sit down. You have earned the right to be cared for. You have earned the right to simply be. Your value now is in who you are, not what you do. Let's repeat that. Your value is now in who you are, not what you do. Let that phrase be a gentle wave, washing over any lingering feelings of guilt or uselessness. Let it cleanse the habit of measuring your worth by the number of tasks you complete in a day. You are no longer on the clock. You are no longer being evaluated for your performance. You have graduated. You have moved into the esteemed role of the elder, the sage, the keeper of the flame. This is not a lesser role. It is a different role, a vital one, and one that requires not action, but presence, not strength, but wisdom, not doing, but being. So, as you lie here, feel the truth of this. You are not a former version of yourself. You are the culmination of yourself. You are the finished masterpiece, holding all the colors and textures of a life fully lived. And your presence, just as it is, right now, is a gift. It is a treasure. It is more than enough. Release the need to be useful and embrace the profound, quiet power of simply being you. As we drift deeper into this state of peace and acceptance, let's touch on a quality that is often misunderstood. We are going to honor the profound courage it takes to be vulnerable. Our culture celebrates a very specific kind of strength, the strength of independence, of self-reliance, of pushing through pain. We lionize the stoic hero who never complains and never asks for help. In this context, vulnerability is often seen as the opposite of strength. It's framed as weakness, as a failure of that heroic ideal. But this is a profound misunderstanding of the human spirit. True courage is not the absence of fear or need. It is the willingness to show up and be seen exactly as you are. The strength it takes to pretend you don't need help is nothing compared to the courage it takes to ask for it. Asking for help requires you to lay down your armor, as we discussed. It requires you to admit that you are not invincible. It requires you to be seen in a moment of need. This takes immense, breathtaking courage. It is an act of profound bravery. For someone who has spent a lifetime being the helper, this is perhaps the single most courageous act you will ever perform. It goes against every instinct, every habit, every well-worn neural pathway in your brain. It is the emotional equivalent of a soldier laying down their weapons on a battlefield, trusting that they will be met not with attack, but with compassion. That is true strength. Let's integrate a powerful truth into our understanding tonight. The truth is that interdependence is the reality of the human experience, not a failure of independence. This idea of the rugged, completely self-sufficient individual is a myth. It has never been true. From the moment we are born, we are utterly dependent on others for our survival. As we grow, we learn to collaborate, to form communities, to rely on each other's skills and support. A successful life is not about achieving a state of complete independence where you need no one. A successful life is about learning to navigate the beautiful, complex dance of interdependence with grace and humility. We need farmers to grow our food, doctors to heal our bodies, friends to lift our spirits. We are woven together in a vast, intricate web of mutual reliance. To need others is not a sign that you have failed. It is a sign that you are a participating member of the human family. For many years, you were a primary contributor to that web. You wove strong, supportive threads for others to lean on. Now, the web is simply asking to support you in return. This is not a sign of the web breaking. It is a sign of the web working exactly as it was designed. To allow yourself to be held by this web is to honor its integrity. It is to affirm the value of community, of family, of connection itself. And here is something more. In finding the courage to be vulnerable, you are teaching a final, powerful lesson to your children. Throughout their lives, you taught them many things. You taught them how to be strong, how to be kind, how to work hard. Now, you have the opportunity to teach them one of the most important lessons of all: how to age with grace, how to accept help with humility, and how to be soft and vulnerable without shame. You are modeling for them a path that they too will one day walk. By showing them that it is okay to need others, that it is okay to be cared for, you are giving them a priceless gift. You are freeing them from the tyranny of "I'm fine." You are showing them that true strength includes the capacity to receive. Imagine the alternative. If you cling fiercely to your independence, if you consistently hide your struggles and refuse all offers of help, what lesson does that teach? It teaches that aging is a battle to be fought alone. It teaches that vulnerability is shameful. It teaches that one must maintain a facade of strength at all costs. This plants a seed of fear in them about their own future, their own aging process. But by embracing your own need for support, you show them a different, more compassionate way. You show them that the final chapters of life are not about a lonely, prideful struggle, but about a gentle, loving surrender into the care of family. You are lighting the path for them. You are teaching them how to complete the sacred circle of care with dignity and love. This may be your most profound lesson yet. It is a legacy of emotional courage that will serve them for the rest of their lives. When they face their own vulnerabilities, they will remember your example. They will remember that it is okay to be human, okay to be tired, okay to lean on those who love them. Your courage to be vulnerable now becomes their permission to be human later. What a beautiful, final gift to give. So, let go of any shame associated with needing help. Reframe it in your mind. This is not weakness. This is courage. This is not a failure of independence. This is an embrace of our shared humanity. This is not a burden you are placing on your children. It is a final, powerful lesson you are teaching them. A lesson in grace, humility, and the true meaning of a life lived in connection. We are now arriving at the very heart of this journey. All the paths we have walked tonight, naming the fear, releasing the armor, reframing the narrative, have been leading us to this one central truth. Let this truth land not just in your mind, but in every cell of your body. Let it be a deep, cellular acceptance of a reality you may have never fully allowed yourself to embrace. The truth is this: you are worthy of care without shame. Breathe that in. Let it be the air that fills your lungs. I am worthy of care without shame. Breathe it out. Let it be the quiet whisper that settles your heart. This is not something you have to earn. It is not a reward for a life well lived. It is not conditional on you being pleasant or easy or grateful. It is an inherent birthright of being human. Just as a newborn baby is worthy of care, just as a tender young plant is worthy of water and sunlight, so too are you worthy of care in this season of your life. It is the natural order of things. It is the way of love. For a lifetime, you have likely operated under a different assumption. An assumption that your needs were secondary, that your comfort was less important than the comfort of others, that to ask for something for yourself was somehow selfish or indulgent. This was the noble code of the caregiver. But tonight, we are gently and lovingly decommissioning that code. Its purpose has been served. A new principle is now taking its place, the principle of deserving. You deserve the same tenderness that you gave to others. You deserve the same patience. You deserve the same unwavering support. You deserve to be the center of someone's loving attention. It is your turn. Let's take a moment to actively dissolve any lingering feelings of guilt. Guilt is a sticky, persuasive emotion. It's the voice that whispers, "I am too much," or "I am asking for more than my fair share." It's the feeling that arises when your needs feel inconvenient to others. Let's look at this guilt with compassion. It is, once again, a distorted expression of your love. You feel guilty because you don't want to impose. But as we've discovered, what you call an imposition, your children may call an honor. So, let's dissolve this guilt with the gentle solvent of truth. The truth is, your needs are not too much. Your needs are simply your needs. They are a neutral fact of your current human experience. Imagine a beautiful, beloved garden that you have tended for 50 years. You have watered it, weeded it, nurtured it, and it has produced incredible beauty and nourishment. Now, the garden is in its late autumn season. It requires a different kind of care. It needs to be mulched, protected from the frost, allowed to rest. Would you look at the garden and say, "You are too much trouble now. Your needs are an imposition"? Of course not. You would see this new phase of care as a natural and necessary part of the garden's life cycle. You would tend to it with love and reverence, honoring the rest it has earned. You are that garden. You are not too much. You are simply in a new season that requires a new kind of care, and you are worthy of that care. Now let's embrace the deep peace that comes from truly knowing this. It's a peace that settles in your bones. It's the feeling of a long internal argument finally coming to an end. The argument between your needs and your perceived worthiness is over. The verdict is in. You are worthy. Period. There are no more conditions to be met, no more hoops to jump through. You can finally rest in the certainty that you deserve to be comfortable, to be safe, and to be cherished, exactly as you are. This acceptance changes everything. When you know, on a deep level, that you are worthy of care, asking for help is no longer a moment of shame. It becomes a simple statement of fact. "I need a glass of water" becomes no different than saying, "The sky is blue." It is a neutral request, born of a valid need, offered to people who love you and want to meet that need. The emotional charge, the shame, the guilt, it all begins to fall away. This is the ultimate freedom. The freedom from the exhausting work of pretending, minimizing, and feeling guilty. It is the freedom to simply be human, in the company of other humans who love you. It is the peace of returning home to your own deserving heart. Feel this peace spreading through your body now. Let it be a warm, gentle light that starts in your chest and expands outward, filling every limb. Let it soothe the tired muscles, calm the anxious mind, and quiet the worried heart. This peace is your truth. This worthiness is your essence. Everything else, the fears, the guilt, the stories of being a burden, is just noise. Let the noise fade away and let the quiet, profound peace of your own worthiness be the only thing that remains. As you drift now on the edge of sleep, hold this feeling, the feeling of being completely, unconditionally, and shamelessly worthy of all the love and care the universe has to offer. You deserve it. You always have. And now, you can finally let it in. Now, as the journey of our thoughts comes to a gentle close, it is time to release the mind from its work. You have explored so much tonight, touched so many deep and tender places. You have done enough. The time for analysis and reflection is passing, giving way to a time of simple, quiet being. Gently release your hold on all the ideas we have discussed. Let them go as if you are releasing a handful of butterflies. They have done their work, and now they can fly free. You don't need to hold on to them or remember them. The seeds have been planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious, and they will grow on their own, in their own time, without any effort from you. Your only task now is to rest, to soften, to surrender to the pull of deep restorative sleep. Let's begin this gentle descent by bringing a soft, loving awareness to the body. We will take a slow, soothing journey from your toes to the top of your head, not to change anything, but simply to acknowledge and thank each part for the incredible life it has carried. Bring your attention all the way down to your feet. Feel them resting at the end of the bed. These feet that have taken millions of steps, that have stood for hours, that have walked you through every chapter of your life. Thank them for their strength, their endurance, their unwavering support. Let a wave of softness and release wash over them, allowing them to be completely still, completely at rest. Now, bring that gentle awareness up to your ankles, your calves, and your shins. These legs that have carried you, that have chased after small children, that have climbed stairs and danced at celebrations. Thank them for their power and their mobility. Allow them to feel heavy, warm, and deeply relaxed, sinking into the mattress beneath them. Let this wave of soothing relaxation flow into your knees and your thighs. These strong pillars that have supported you, that have allowed you to bend and to rise, to kneel down to comfort a child, and to stand tall in the face of challenges. Thank them for their flexibility and their resilience. Release all tension from these large, powerful muscles. Let them go completely limp, completely at ease. Feel this warmth spreading into your hips, your pelvis, and your lower back. This center of your body that has held so much, that has carried the weight of your posture and the hidden tension of stress. Thank this area for its core strength. And now, give it permission to let go. Imagine the muscles of your lower back softening and widening, releasing any grip they might be holding. Let this gentle, healing energy flow up your spine, vertebra by vertebra, into your abdomen and your chest, your stomach, which has digested not only food, but also difficult emotions, your heart and lungs, which have beaten and breathed faithfully for you every second of every day of your life. Thank these vital organs for their ceaseless, silent work. Feel your chest soften with each exhale, your breathing becoming slower, deeper, and more peaceful. Allow your shoulders to release another layer of tension. Let them melt away from your ears, releasing the last remnants of the burdens they have carried for so long. Let this feeling of softness flow down your arms, through your elbows, and into your hands and fingers. These hands that have worked so hard, that have healed, comforted, created, and held. Thank your hands for all they have done. Allow them to rest now, open and empty, completely peaceful. Bring the awareness to your neck and your throat, this slender bridge that connects your mind and your body, which can so often hold the tension of unspoken words. Let it be soft and open. And finally, let this wave of relaxation wash over your entire face, your jaw, your cheeks, your temples, the tiny muscles around your eyes and across your forehead. Let your entire face become smooth, serene, and utterly peaceful. Your whole body is now in a state of deep rest, heavy, warm, and calm. And as you lie here, enveloped in this profound stillness, let an image form in your mind. Imagine that you are being gently held. It could be the feeling of being swaddled in the softest, warmest blanket imaginable. Or perhaps it's the feeling of floating effortlessly in calm, warm water. Or maybe it's the memory of being held in the arms of someone who loved you unconditionally. Whatever the image, allow yourself to sink into the feeling of it, the feeling of being completely supported, completely safe. There is nothing for you to do. You don't have to hold yourself up. You are being held. You are being cared for. All you need to do is surrender to this feeling of being safely, lovingly, and completely supported. This is the truth of your existence. You are held in the love of your family. You are held by the life you have lived. You are held by the strength you have earned. You can let go. You can trust that you will be held. You are drifting now, floating in that quiet, peaceful space between wakefulness and sleep. The mind has grown still. The body is at rest. There are no more tasks to perform, no more thoughts to think. There is only this gentle, rhythmic breathing and the soft, quiet dark that surrounds you. As you drift deeper, let this final, gentle reassurance be the last thing you hear, the truth that carries you into your dreams. You are loved, not for what you can do, not for what you can give, but simply for who you are. This love is not a fragile thing. It is not conditional. It is a vast and steady landscape, and you are resting at its very center. You are cherished. Your presence, your history, your unique and irreplaceable being is a treasure to those who know you. The sound of your voice, the light in your eyes, the stories you hold, these are gifts of immeasurable value. You are a living landmark in the lives of your family, a point of origin to which they can always return. You are wanted. Your place in the circle of your family is secure. It is not a place you must earn or fight to keep. It is your place. It was created for you, by you, through a lifetime of your own love. It is waiting for you, always. There is no need to worry about taking up space. You are the space. You are the home to which their hearts return. And so, there is nothing left to fear. The weight you carried into the night has been laid down. The worries about the future have dissolved. The belief that you are a burden has been replaced by the quiet, unshakable truth of your own worth. All that is left now is peace. A deep, abiding peace that settles in your soul. A peace that comes from knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be, exactly as you are. Nothing needs to be fixed. Nothing needs to be changed. You are whole. You are complete. And you are so worthy of this rest. Is it not a curious mystery of life that the greatest strength is often found in surrender? That the deepest connections are forged not in our capability, but in our vulnerability? That our greatest gift to others may not be what we do for them, but what we finally allow them to do for us? These are not questions to be answered now. They are gentle wonders to drift upon, like soft clouds in a quiet sky. Now, let go. Let go of everything. Let go of this voice. Let go of this day. Surrender to the soft, quiet, healing dark. Sleep is coming for you now, like a gentle tide rising to meet the shore. It is a safe harbor, a place where your body can heal, your mind can rest, and your spirit can be restored. Trust in the night. Trust in the healing power of sleep. And trust in the love that holds you, now and always. Sleep now. Rest deeply. You are safe. You are loved. You are at peace.